Yeah, hello guys. We'll start the session. Very less people are there. Anyway, so this session will be around the same thing which we have studied in the previous week about SQL and SQL alchemy. So it will be so I'll just recap what we did in the previous class and then we'll come back here and try to discuss something more. So in the previous class, we just started off with uh, giving a flow of how Flask app works, how we got to use Jinja, and then after that, we try to pull up some data, use the data, and show it to the user, the client side. And then after that, we decided that we should be using a database. For database, we have decided that SQLite should be a easier one to move here and there and use it. So this was the basic idea. Then after that, we thought that we might have to write the queries, right? So SQL itself is a language where you have to write the queries in, and then you have to do the uh, you have to pull up the data, you have to add the data. So that was a little extra work which we were doing. So we decided that we can use database as SQLite in our app, but we might need a simpler version of query language, I would say. So we used the ORM called SQLAlchemy ORM. There we were writing just a query, simplest of the simplest query that just say maybe the model name or the table name would be, let's say, user dot query and then whatever we need. So something like that was there. So that's why we moved ahead and we are now here. We till this time I guess we know about how to query all the details, how to add the details, and how to maintain those details and show it in the screen. So this is, I guess, till this point, I believe you guys know. If you know, just give me a thumbs up. Maybe you know. If you don't know, you can just give me a thumbs down. Okay, okay. I guess half of the people uh, have the idea. Okay, more than half. Yeah. Okay, so if you don't know, I would advise you to go ahead and try to watch the previous session at least. If you struggle at any point, you can just ask me. Maybe we can debate on that. Okay, we'll start off. I'll usually I what I do is I just share my GitHub link, and then I start off and where whatever we'll be doing will be around that call. Give me 1 second. I wanted to upload one image in that file. I'll do that and then I'll share the link. Okay, after committing, I'll just uh, share the link. Okay, you can go ahead and open this file. One more thing I would like to tell you that this is week 6. Still, we are talking about SQL Alchemy because this is an important component in terms of your project as well as in terms of your assignments, programming assignment, which you will be doing or doing already. So you should know how SQL Alchemy works. So till this point, we have talked about uh, how we can get the data and all. But there is something called relationship also in this particular SQL Alchemy, ORM, and also SQL Alchemy. We'll talk about that in this class, and before that, we'll try to build up something. Okay, so I'll share my screen and let's start off. So I'll just search. So we have covered till this point. I'm not covered completely about Jinja, but yeah, you can just read about it. I believe you have already read it. Okay. Till this point we have covered. So query.all, you know about that, and you have to add these things. Okay. Now, there are few things in maybe type of tables or models which we use, which you should know before creating those tables and models, that how you want to connect them, right? uh, it won't be a case that you will be using only one table, right? This should be clear. You have to use multiple tables, and to work in an app you should make them work together. Till this point, I guess this should be in your idea, right? You're working with multiple tables, but they have to be connected somehow. Okay, so that connection is basically called here as a relationship. Okay, how you will connect one table to other, is the relationship between those table uh, is giving something to one user, or is it giving something to multiple user, or it can happen that multiple user are getting some multiple things from the other table. So these are the major three relationship which we'll be dealing with. There are other kind of relationship as well, but that are not too much of our use for now. It can be, so briefly I will talk that it can be a thing when you take a TBMS course. So you will talk about that in that course. So where you talk about joins and all. So how join will create a relationship, this and that. But here, to be specific, when we are using SQLAlchemy ORM, these three will be required: one to one, one to many, which you can just see in the screen, and many to one is similar to one to many, and the third one would be many to many. So this would be the idea. While I was just coming to this session, it thought that is there some place where uh, you will get to know about three things in a shorter thing. So I have written so many things, so many lines, and then you have to move here and there to find it. So can we get it in one single slide or single photo or something like that? It is there in the week 4 slide. I just found out here. uh, Basically this describes how it is working. So this is very minimal minimal language or minimal words it has been written. But it is totally justified what is written here. So first one says one to one. Basically it says one student has one roll number. Yeah, sometimes happens that, yeah, you get an ID in, let's say, if you are getting an ID in BS degree of data science, you can get the same ID in electronic system. But because both are different entities, both the database are using different kind of uh, uh, database build up or table names, both are separate, but both are working inside a BS program. Okay, it can happen like that. But when you talk about one to one, it should be in one data format. So we'll talk about only data science department, or the department would be electronic system, but both will come under a BS degree program, but they are separate entities. So this should be clear. If something like that comes in your mind, that yeah, there can be a possibility that one student can have same ID. Yes, it is possible, but they will have a different set of database itself. The full database cloud would be different. This would be in your mind. That's why this example comes. So one student can particularly get one roll number. This you would agree, right? Uniquely it happens. So whenever this kind of table relationship happens, so one student means in one table you have a student detail, everything about student name, where he lives or something like that, and then one table would be about a roll number and some pointer about that student, so that you can know about this student and whatever other detail you need in that table, right? So roll number table can take that. Okay, somebody want to speak? This is yeah, this is week 6, but we are still talking about week 5 content. So week 5 content is basically SQLAlchemy. This is part two of it. Okay. So this is one of the example. Any doubts still here? Do you feel that there is some question which needs to be answered? Any doubts? Have you understood how one-to-one mapping happen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I believe others are also okay. Good. I believe that it is clear that one student can have one roll number. I would ask one question to you all, if you have understood. Can you give me one example? Anyone or any two of you, just give me one example of how you think that where you will be using one-to-one kind of mapping in tables or model.
One person have a different person have different Aadhaar numbers. So
Okay.
one,
You meant one person will have one Aadhaar.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Good. Yes. Yes. Correct.
Universal password.
Uh, can you come again?
Password.
I guess I didn't hear you.
User ID and password.
User ID and password.
Oh,
Uh, it is possible if you have set that password will be unique. So if it is like that, then it can happen. But it can happen, right? You can have same password 1234 for any of the users. So if you are asking a user to have a unique password, then yes, it is okay. One user will have one password.
okay.
Yeah, somebody has written something, I guess. Yeah, mobile number. Mobile number. I would say that, see. So it can happen that you have two mobile numbers, right? So I would not consider it as one to one, but it can be one to many. So multiple mobile number of one user, because nowadays we use. So I use two phone numbers. You might be also doing the same. So it is not one to one anymore. But previously, for the previous generation, I would say, when we were using telephone, so one home would have one telephone. So it was like that, but then time changed and one telephone becomes two and three, something like that has happened. So it depends how you're using it. Okay, so mobile number I would not consider right now, but if it is specific, it can happen also. Fingerprint data, yes, it should be, but fingerprint about what? So fingerprint can be taken for one finger. You have to specify which finger you are using, or if you are
Like, sir,
using.
biometric data. Biometric.
Yeah, so biometric also. So if let's say talk about Aadhaar card, you give all the fingerprints, right? 10 of them. So are you storing in one row? If all the fingerprint are stored in one row, then it can be unique one. uh, it depends how you're storing it also, right? So uh, if you are using only a single one, middle finger maybe, right? So and also have multiple finger of the same user in different rows, then it is not unique anymore. It can be a one to many rows, right? Are you getting what I'm saying? If it is in one row all the fingerprint, then it is one to one. If it is in multiple rows, then it won't be a one to one. It will be a one to many if you talk about the tables. Are you getting out what I said? Okay. Yeah, student roll number, student. Yeah, we have covered this. Student and his address, resident. Yeah, it can be a possibility. Yes, only one address if they have only one. Yeah, then yeah, same. Yes, the point which Priyanshi said, it can have. It is possible that multiple resident. Iris data, yeah, it is possible if you are considering only one row has all the detail about one user. then fine. Otherwise, it won't be a one to many if it is considered in different rows. So depend on how the data is stored. Student, his guardian. Yeah, again, this also is a good example, but it depends on how you are storing it, right? So from here, let's move on from here only, right? So somebody said student and his guardians, right? It can be a possibility that you are storing one data in two different rows, right? It is possible, right? So if it is possible, then you will come under uh, one to many or many to one. So uh, here the example changes to one particular student will have multiple guardians, mother and father, two different data points. It can be possible. Now here, when you see the picture here or the slide here, you can see it says that one particular student stays in one hostel, but the point what we are doing or dealing with here is it is possible that student will stay in one hostel, but one particular hostel can have multiple or many students, isn't it? If you think like that, so this can be, from one side it is one to one if you think like that, but still if you go beyond that, it from hostel side it is one to many, isn't it? Have you understood what I said, or no, still struggling to understand what it is saying?
Sir, hostel example is not clear.
Okay, so let's have you been to, whoever has said, have you been to any hostel before, or any PG, or anywhere where you have multiple people staying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so let's say if you are going to a particular PG or hostel for admission. Now, it won't be a case that you are the only one staying in that particular full PG or hostel, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Right. So it is possible that PG, wherever you are staying, can have multiple people in that. You can just go there and register your name. Other person comes and they register their name, and then they will go to maybe same room. There is two sharing maybe. So multiple people can stay in one room as well, and also they can stay in multiple rooms as well. But the hostel remains the one, and they can consider 10 to 20 people or any number of people, right? From your perspective, it is one to one because you are talking directly to the PG owner. But when you take the perspective of hostel, you have multiple people staying. So this kind of relationship will be a one to many. You will consider the broader one, not the singular one. Are you getting it? What I said? No.
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Okay. So it is a possibility that from one side it is one and the other side would be many. It is possible. So you have to check which side it is, and then you will define the relationship as that context. So this should be the idea. And any example other than this hostel and student scenario, if you can think of? We have few example here itself. You can just write it out here, or just tell me any of the example which you can think of other than hostel and student. Okay, person and blood group. Uh, Yes, correct. So from the blood group perspective, yes, A plus maybe will have multiple people are donating the A plus group, and they have the quantity. Yes, so blood group will be one table, person would be one table, and then you have blood group A plus, and then you can connect with them. So yes, correct. College and student, yes. In the college itself, there are other things also. So multiple department, right? One department can have multiple student. Yeah, correct. courses. Yes, so that is one of the example. Yes, any other than student which you can think of in your daily life which you might have seen, where you can just create the table. Anyone, maybe mother and child. Yeah, good. Yeah, you can. One mother can have multiple child. Yes. Any other example? Any example? Yeah, correct. Or an organization and employee. Perfect. Any one more example, and then we'll move on from here. So you can take example from your background itself. If you can see that there are two tables creating, and one table will have nice father and children. Nice. Uh, R and student, teacher and uh okay. So in what whoever has written this, can you just tell me what perspective are you thinking about in terms of teacher and student? Because if person and traveling bus, yes, traveling a bus, yes, correct. A bus is important. If they are traveling in one bus, yes, one too many can be a possibility. But if this teacher and student can can be developed only on the basis of how you're thinking, your analogy. Otherwise, it can become many to many as well. So one teacher in one class, if you are talking about, then it can be a possibility. Yeah, it is possible, but uh, multiple teachers are also teaching multiple students of the same class. So let's say if you are in school, maybe so multiple teachers are coming and teaching you. A department can have like that you have three different table and then you are working with them, maybe like that. So that can be a thing. Yeah, it really depends on how you are thinking about that situation. So how you're believing that whenever I am calling some content or some data, how I can pull it. So if one teacher can give me multiple data of the multiple student, it can become a one to many relationship. But there should be only two table. Otherwise, what will happen that you have to either separate table to connect them together, customer and orders. Uh, it is also depending on how you are creating it, right? So it order ID can be different, order will have multiple items in it, uh, customer name can be a entity or their things. Yeah, so this one depends on the situation as well. So customer and order, how you define it. Is it it does it need a extra table to connect them together? Then it can come under many to many relationship. So we'll come to that how it works. But yeah, so if it needs a extra table to connect them together, or that means customer ID and order ID will be in one table, a single table, and then it is connecting both the tables, then it will be a many to many relationship. So that can be a thing. Okay, person and playing a sport. Uh, how will you create this table? Is my question. Person and playing a sport. So what will be the name of first? I believe user table you have created. The other table what? Sports.
Yes, sir. Sports such as taekwondo, in which
Mhm.
many students are participating.
So tell me, one sport uh, doesn't is it not possible that one sport can be taken by multiple players or persons,
Yes, sir. That's why it is one to many.
and particularly let's say one sport cannot be played by multiple persons.
So it can played by
So
multiple
doesn't
persons.
it reflects from both sides many to many, isn't it? No.
Yes, sir. But if we put the condition that the person is playing only one game, then at that time it is one too many, or
Yeah, so that's the possibility, right? So you have to uh, point out a particular constraint where they can only be one entity in one particular table. So you have to create one more table, isn't it? Otherwise, it will be difficult to manage both of the conditions where one sport will have multiple persons, and particularly one person can play multiple sports. How will you maintain the ID, user ID, and let's say sport ID if you are maintaining? It will be a problem if you are using only two tables. You will have to create an extra table which is matching them, isn't it?
yes, sir, we have to create.
Yeah, so when you create that table, extra table, that is a secondary or helper table. There you are uh, shifting to many relationship. So player ID and sports ID matching together in one table, and then that key can become a foreign key, maybe foreign key or primary key, whatever you call it. Both are same in this situation. So it will be connecting those two table in one particular secondary by the use of secondary helper table. So that is your many-to-many relationship. Okay, this one said citizen country. Yes, this is correct, I would say, because to some extent, I would say correct, because there are few people, if we just ignore them, there are few people who have multiple countries' citizenship. So if you remove them, then otherwise, yes, correct. One person can have one particular citizenship. Yes. People and living in a city. Okay. Uh, I live in Chennai as well as in my hometown. Uh, so isn't it uh, how how it is possible? Can you just maybe try to think about it? We have just discussed something similar in this. Living in one city depends on how, if you are valid. So I can live in. I would just give you one vague example. It is not mandatory here, but yeah, let's say if I am in border, then I am living in two cities together. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, this, if you are talking about country, yeah, it is one entity. I would ask yes, correct. States, because states defines multiple states, I would not be too much. It depends on how you will store the data as well. So that is one of the cases. For country, I would say yes, but for one or two examples, no. It depends how you store the data. So if it is unique, then fine. I'm okay with that. Okay. So after this, till this point, we have discussed about one to one, one to many to one. Uh, is it clear? People and date of birth. I believe yes, yes, correct. I would say, yeah. But in India, most of the time, you would see that few people of the older generation, they have uh, maybe for Aadhaar card they have different date of birth. For PAN card they have different, and something like that. So it is there. But if we talk about maybe the newer generation, mostly it is clear. Yeah, XX.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on ahead. So two things we have cleared out that this can be a situation. So see one thing, even though it is clear right now, but when you practice and try to create the tables, it will be a good idea. When you are doing that, then it will be more clearer than today. So till this point, if you have understood a little bit about it, it is fine. You don't have to understand everything about these things, but when you create a table, then you have to build up a logic that how the relationship are happening. So this should be in your mind. Okay. The last pointer for today, or the relationship, is many to many. So here, one student, so the example says one student can register for many courses. One course can have many students. So this example somebody has just, I guess, written here. I believe it is there. Hopefully, this one. So this one was the thing. So if it is about department, I guess it is okay. But for courses, yeah, multiple people can take multiple courses, and multiple student can be having a same kind of course as well. So we have discussed already. So this is one of the example. There are many examples which you can think of. Let's come to the dog first of all. Let's. Uh, Although I was just trying to Google it, that seeing that is there something which we can see in terms of maybe the graph and all. So this is one of the website I just got to see. Uh, when you search on Google or Yahoo, whatever this is, so you will get this link. Try to see this, and if you have time, you can just go through this content and try to build up your logic. What can be the uh, good analogy for you? So you can just go ahead and see these things. But one of the things which I wanted to just show you, that this is one of the example which you can use in, this is mad one. I would say that it will be used in mat 2 project mostly, I believe, or it can be used in mat 1 if you are using it. So okay, so the tables which will be created is one, first one is user table, and the other table is user profile. How can it be uh, created? Okay, so they have given some explanation. Read the explanation and try to think that is it possible that this is a one-to-one relationship happening here. Try to just read it and try to maybe just tell me, or you can just comment on the chat. See the context and then tell me. So they are saying one user will have one user profile. Do you agree with this or no? And if you agree, tell me how it can happen. So try to create in your mind maybe. So you try to create one user table. What will you store there, and try to create user profile there. What you will store. So think about it. They have written some example how you will do that, but yeah, try to think in your mind how can it be possible that two tables will be there and one-to-one relationship be maintained. Any guesses? Are you guys there?
Sir, maybe we can consider the Gmail ID and then the Facebook profiles. So using one Gmail ID, we can create only one Facebook profile.
Hmm.
And for a Facebook profile, there will be only one Gmail ID linked to it.
Okay,
So
good. Looks correct. But what will you write in the table? So let's say about user table. What will you write in that table?
in the user, it will be about the Gmail ID that is being used, and also maybe the date of birth, age information, something like this.
Hmm.
And in the
And
other table, we can have, like, for example, Facebook logs or something like, or for example, how many posts it is being there, and these
so
two
in the
information.
profile itself, you will be storing every detail of the Facebook. Is it good? Because it will be a lot of data in one particular table there.
Okay. Yeah.
Image ID in user table, and image ID, image address link. Okay. And what about user profile? Okay, so you're saying image ID in user table and image ID and address image link in user profile. How will you connect this then? So you're connecting by the use of image ID, but what is the detail about user? You don't have any user name, something like that. Will you not store any user detail? Okay, only image ID. Yeah, image ID can be a primary. Okay, okay, but profile for what? What profile basically tells you about the user detail only, right? And then you have other tables. Isn't it the case that what if we want to do it like that? So can we do something like we store maybe user ID in one table and it is dependent upon profile, so user profile, and that ID is stored in the second column. So user profile ID, something like that.
Sir, why are we splitting into two, sir? Like user ID also could be in the user profile, right?
Yeah, it is possible. Yes. So that's the point here. Yeah.
The
So
user.
they have taken. Yeah, correct. You have the good. You have just asked the good question. They have taken this example uh, as one-to-one relationship, even though it is not compulsory to create a separate table for user profile. But when you go down, when they say why one-to-one, they also give one of the example which I have just saw. Uh, One doctor, something like that was given, I guess. Hmm. I guess this was that. Maybe it was not there. It was there something about how it can be a can be used. Just reading it, I just forgot where it was. Mm. Yeah, this is one of the things where you should be deciding. One thing is I won't be okay. This is I guess this is the thing. Mm. Can you read this? So it says a user table and user profile table. The user account and profile might be managed by different teams or loaded separately in an app. Are you getting what they are saying?
Yes, sir. I understood.
Yeah. So just if you have understood, tell us.
Just I wanted to maintain, like, if it is possible, it's they could use the user table to do different operations or compare with different tables also.
Yeah. So sometimes in organization or some kind of company or something, they need some data to be private or it is a sensitive information which they don't want everyone to see about the user. So they create a separate entity, a separate table for them. To let's say if we talk about hours, so we don't want the student's phone number to be shown to the uh, uh, some proctor who is not from the institute. So we can remove the phone number from the particular table which has the user profile data, and it can we can keep it in a different table. And whenever a proctor is asking for your data, it will be shown everything other than the that number, phone number. But when the a organization guy from his ID want to check, he will be able to see that everything other than mobile number will be same, right? So if there is some sensitive data, so in that scenario you can use something like that. So one-to-one kind of relationship can happen, and they are both connected with a primary key or foreign key. It can be a ID or something. So some it one-to-one is basically, I would say, very lesser used in terms of when you are doing a project like where you are not too much uh, caring about the relationship. So that is okay. But when you are dealing with a real life scenario, sometimes it happens that you have to be careful about what data you want to show to the user whenever it is fetched or it is taken from the user or the client. Okay. So try to read this, I would say. Hopefully, you will get to know a little bit more about these. Yeah. Okay. Uh, I'll come back to this talk now. Till this point, we have a good, I guess, well, I believe that you have a good understanding of how it is working in general in terms of theoretical aspect. We'll talk about a little bit about the coding part. So let's see the code, how it is written, and then we'll try to run it also. So in this code, this is talking about one-to-many relationship. It is saying model here. So it can be a model, it can be written as table as well. Both are same. Okay. So don't confuse yourself if it is model or table. So creating models. First model or the class or the table is user class. Okay. Then the same kind of analogy which we built. I'm using three columns here. ID is one column, username is one column, and classes is one column. But this column is this won't be visible particularly in your database. Why I'm saying that? Because this is not a column, but it is a relationship. Okay, so you can imagine it like a row, or sorry, a arrow which is going towards a different table or the other table. Hope it is clear. Now there's one more table or class that is called class itself, and it has three particular columns. Here it is asking for ID, title, and user ID. So two ways you can just see here whenever I'm writing it in this coding format in SQLAlchemy ORM formatting or Flask SQLAlchemy ORM formatting. In the first class, I'm saying db.relationship should be written, and it is becoming a arrow there. But whenever I'm talking about a class column, there I'm writing user ID and it is written as db.column. But it is still doing some task related, something similar to how relationship works, or db.relationship works. It is giving you a foreign key instance or asking for a foreign key instance. So when this user class is connected with class, now this particular class can also use some data of user ID, sorry, user table. So how can you use it? You can use it using foreign key. Okay, foreign key is basically, mostly it is a primary key of the other table, but it can be other keys also if you want. So username can also be a foreign key. It's up to you how you want to define it. This is the format which you have to write. So whenever you are you want to separate it out or want to fetch some detail using a foreign key, you have to write it inside a db.column. And if some relationship is happening to other one, so let's say if this one user can have multiple class, then there you have to write db.relationship. This is not required here, this one, if you have a relationship from user to class, uh, because the user can get the detail of class itself and in any way. This is important when you want to also fetch some detail using class. So if you don't want to fetch using class, you can stay with this particular code itself, which will give you a data. It is like that. But for, let's say, if you want to fetch from both sides, that's why you use foreign. Otherwise, it is not important for you to every time make a relationship and also call a foreign key. Till this point, is it clear?
Sir,
Yeah.
so in the class, we have not mentioned how to link this foreign key to user, sir, because we are using user.id. So
Yeah.
is that the point where we are linking it?
Yeah. So this user which you are writing is the name of this particular class, but it is already linked by use of this particular
Sir,
variable
but
which you have
that
created.
is from user side to class side, no, sir?
Yeah. So let's come to that point. So here there is something called backref. SQLAlchemy ORM or Flask SQLAlchemy ORM gives you a variable called backref which connects the table in both ways. So you have to write only one side in one side and it will connect in both ways, user and class. There is something called back populates. So I'll just show you. Hopefully I have written it. There's so much content inside this. Yeah, hopefully it is here. So this is the example. So if you are writing back populates, you have to write it in both the tables. Okay, like this. Explicitly, you have to mention that this is my back populate, and here also you have to back populate to which class, whatever you want to go. Here you have to write it separately in both the table. When you are using backref, you just have to write in one from where you are starting off. So a user can have a multiple class, right? Are you getting it?
Sir, so the ORM will automatically understand that this is one to many relationship.
Uh, Not automatically, because you are explicitly mentioning, let's say, if you want to be specific, it will understand that this is one to many only in both ways or any one way. This is easier for us to understand, but in many to many relationship also you will be using backref. So
So
this
for many to
relationship,
many, it is understood that because we have not mentioned anywhere that who is actually on the one side or many side. So maybe the chances of getting, I mean, having some doubt regarding many to many is lesser in rather than in this case where it is one to many. Because when you say uh, a back ref, so I don't know what exactly it means. Maybe it is meaning that it is having a foreign key to class, uh, or so that's
okay.
where the actually the confusion is that I'm not able to get how the framework will come to know that that we are talking about one to many or many to many.
Yeah, so this right now when we are dealing with SQL Alchemy or Flask SQL Alchemy, uh, you have to explain yourself that how you're thinking about relationship. Typically this will consider both way. So by the code you won't be able to explain it. This backref will be used in both many to many as well as one to many as well. So by code it won't be a straight away game where you will just tell. When you're writing query language, there you can explicitly use foreign key and then you can do it. So that is
Sir,
something
one
different.
more doubt, sir. Because in
Yeah.
a normal table, what the many side will have the ID of the one side.
In normal table, in which sense normal
In
table?
one to many relationship, the many
Hmm.
side will have the ID of the one side.
It depends how you want to go about it. Let's say if you don't want to use, you're talking about this, I believe. So if you don't want to use this, it is completely fine. By the use of this backref, you can get the detail of the class, or you can get the detail for the class as well. So it is possible. this is particularly if you directly want to get the data from the user table. That's why you are using foreign key. Otherwise, it is not required for you to create a foreign key
Uh,
whenever you are creating backup. So this
so
is
what
connecting
I'm
both
saying
ways.
is, sir,
Reverse.
when we say one-to-many relationship, in that case, the many side has the idea of one side. This is normally we how we go for one-to-many relationship in normal database, no, sir?
Yeah. So this particular thing is connecting both ways. It is not only one way. So you
So
can
this
get
is
the
an
data.
object world, sir. The whatever we have written, this is an object world. We are
Yeah. So
in relation world, sir. That's where the confusion is because we are
yeah.
not
So
maintaining anything in relation world, sir.
yeah, so if you want to be explicit that I want to have some column or some data or some kind of variable in other table as well, that's why back populate can help you. If you want to be specific that this is what I want, this is what I should be needing, then you can use it. Otherwise, if you don't have to worry too much about it, how internally it is working, you can use backup. So but you will be using backref only to uh, uh, make the logic clear in your mind. But when you talk about the coding, it will be like that. So it is a reverse connection happening. So from the user side as well as the class side, it will be the same. It will connect both of them. You can get the data from this creator backref itself for both of them. It is possible for you to do that. It is
Oh,
like that.
thank you, sir.
So it is little
One
confusing
question.
because yeah.
So using this relationship, as you said, there is no explicit mention about one to many or many to many. So can I use this relationship as many to many also?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
When I
Yeah.
create the queries, maybe can I use it? Because there is no
Yeah, for
restriction.
many to many, so I have also covered that in this talk itself. You will be using both of them. You can use backpopulate as well as backref. So here is one of the example. So you have to use backref. You're writing it here. In this case, you don't have to write anything in the class table, but because this is a many-to-many relationship, you have to explicitly mention what you are using. So secondary table you have to mention. So this is your secondary table. There you have your foreign keys or the primary key. Both are same. In this case, foreign key, primary key is same. So like that. So you have to use backref. Along with that, you have to tell which table are you referring to. So secondary table is used like that. So
Okay.
even though you are using many to many, backref will be there, and back populate can be also be used, something like that. So this is how you can do that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So in both the cases, you will be using. I guess they have developed it because they want to make things simpler in terms of whenever you are writing, you don't get confused what and don't want you to remember most of the things. So many of the things I would say, uh, and almost be similar so that you can code easily. Maybe like that they have think while creating this ORM. But in query language, you will specify a foreign key. You'll talk through the foreign key about how the relationship will be happening. Okay. Yeah. Hope you got the context. Yes. No. No.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let's come back to this point again. Mm, I don't know. Yeah. So this is the table creation, how you will be doing. The other pointer is you will be needing
Sir,
some data. Yeah.
why we are writing backref equal to creator?
Why we are writing creator is the question, or why we are writing backref equal to creator?
Sir, In the backref, equal to why we are writing creator.
Yeah. So the question is why we have written creator here, isn't it? Something else.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Uh, this this was a genuine mistake which I have made here, so that you can ask me that question. Uh, I can write anything. It should be in small case, but it should be logical in terms of the table name. I can write user, I can use users or anything, or creator, author, anything. I have to write something which I remember, and then you can use it in the uh, Jinja formatting. Wherever you are using Jinja, you can just call this, or wherever you are calling in the Python file, you can just call this. So name can be anything here. It should be in small case mostly. Otherwise, it won't understand.
Sir, like
Sir,
what does it mean, sir? Like creator means, like for example, like to what it's mapping. Creator.
The table name. Yes. It is identified at identifying this relationship is identifying a creator is going through classes or multiple class ID or title, whatever that is. So multiple tables, or sorry, multiple IDs, something like that. I have I should have written it user so that it makes sense that user will have multiple class, but I have written creator here. You can write anything.
And sir, lazy is equal to true.
Yeah. So lazy is one of the type how you want to give the data. So there are multiple ways you can just search maybe. One way is lazy equal to true. Uh, it basically tells you that how you want to send the data and how much a user should be getting in the first fetch. So let's say if you are fetching some details and you don't want every detail of the ID title going in first instance where it is asking for username, okay, or the user profile or whatever this table is giving. So you can write it as lazy equal to true, or it can be dynamic or any other kind of lazy pattern. It will only provide the username and ID in the first instance, and whenever it needs some details about class table, then it will give you through this relationship or the lazy equal to true. So this is used like that. The good use here it is about models, but the most of the times it is used in the front end side or the JavaScript side. So I'll give you one example. So this page you can see, right? This is mad one page. If I refresh this page, not all the content will be shown in the first instance. Now, do you agree with me or no? Have you seen this? That not all of the content will be shown in the first instance. Yes,
Yes,
no,
sir.
right? So this is how lazy loading works. So it takes time, whatever is needed. So this was the first thing should be shown. So this comes first, and then it takes time, and then it gives you some data. So this is one of the examples of lazy loading. So it takes time. Whenever it is needed, then it opens it. Otherwise, if I would have clicked on this particular page, it would have first it shows everything from here side, this side, panel one, and then it goes for checking this one. But it is coming from only one API call. So it takes time to show this, but it is coming from one API call. So something
Means
like
sir,
that is happening.
yes, it's used
Yeah.
for no, control the delay process back in the
Yeah,
backend.
you can understand that. Yes, it is also one of the example. Yes. So it takes, so what happens is it doesn't want you to wait for the content. It will show some of the content so that you know that screen is working fine. Otherwise, sometimes let's say if I do this and nothing is happening and this thing is also not there, I might think that there is some issue. I will do multiple refreshes, and it will make load on the server side or the wherever it is calling. So to reduce that load, we do that. So load balancing is one of the concept as well, which you might read up. So This is where mostly it will be used, but here also you are using it. So this lazy equal to true, there are multiple patterns which you can use. Okay, you can just read about those things.
Sir, in the backref equal to the thing that is written in the curly braces, we have to write the table name always in the smaller letters.
Curly braces means,
Backref equal to what you have written the creator. Instead of creator, we have to write the table name.
yeah, but basically it should be in small cases. Yeah,
Sir, then why you have written creator instead of any table name there?
uh, because I wanted you guys to ask the question.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so I wanted you to ask why it is there, why user is not there, so that I can tell you that why it is. This was the reason. So it can be written as anything. So do not worry that only one thing should be written. Okay. Anything else in this code? I believe you have got it. Okay. The other thing is how you will query. One thing we have seen that we can use user.query.all that gives everything. One of the way is you can just use get, and you can give a user ID or whatever ID first is written here. So it can take that ID and give you the data as well. So something like that can happen. Now, so let's say if you want to, if you have got it, then you want to access with the use of user ID, with the use of user object, you want to access the detail of how it is connected to the classes. You can use this line. So user dot classes. Okay, this is user, and now if it has an object, and object will have a pointer to classes. This pointer can be called anytime by the use of this user dot classes, and then whatever you want to know about it can be taken from here. So class dot title I'm taking. Okay, so this is how you will fetch the detail from user table. Any question? No. Yes.
Sir, what is this user dot query dot get one is doing?
It is getting you the full object what user ID one has in the row. So let's say if ID one has username sk, and then it how many classes it is connected to, it is showing all the details together. So this user variable is getting the object of user ID one.
Sir, so one is the ID, right?
Yeah, primary key, I would say. Yeah, ID.
So we need to input only primary keys over there, right?
Yeah, so that it can understand what we want.
Sir, a small like I'm asking you, like it connects to the user connects to the class table, and from class we are getting the titles, right?
Yeah.
Using the relation, right?
Yes, so this object now has every detail about this particular ID, which is in sense it is connected to some classes or it has some data about the classes. So now we can call and use anything whatever we want. So user dot classes now provides the full detail of this table. So we can use that and see it. So it can be understood as object has one more object inside it, something like that. Object, nested object.
Composition.
Yeah, composition.
Sir, here classes are storing the title and user ID information for a particular ID.
All three things, whatever is there in the table.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I believe you have got the context how it is doing it. And last one, I would just tell you about how a many to many relationship works. So in the previous one, I have not written user table, but you can consider it is there. So in the previous one, we were dealing with relationship and foreign key, but now we have to change something. And if we say many to many, we have to create a association table where they can associate together the two tables by the use of either foreign key or primary key. Typically, both becomes foreign key and for primary key for the table, and it will connect both the tables. So this is what a new thing would be, and it should be written above the tables. So user table and class table should be written below, and above them this association table should be written. So association table is also called as secondary table. This secondary word is used to tell that this kind of relationship is happening. So this particular line is doing that. So you have to tell to whom I'm connected to. So user, you are connected to user. Then I'm saying which table is connecting them together is secondary table, that is class participants. And then you are talking about back reference. So where it is doing a back ref. So this is back ref is particularly this class, this one. So this is how you can write it. Uh, have you got a little bit understanding of this?
Sir, over here, user is not there, right? Then how are you relating?
I've just not written it here. I just it should be there, but I've just uh, for the sake of just telling you that this is there. It should be user table should be there. I have taken the full example in the below one. So just I wanted to tell you this line. That's why this is just short format what I wanted to cover in this class. So I'm using this. Otherwise, the full is there in the below content which you
Uh,
can see.
Sir, a small doubt over here. User and classes are connected by class participants table, right? Like the middleman is like class participant. Can we say that?
Uh, yes, class participant is the middle. Yes, it is. So you can maybe you can think of a diagram maybe. So let's say this is the middle one, class participant, and then one is user, the other one is class. So this is how it is connected.
Sir, could you once again repeat what is secondary doing? Secondary equal to class participant is referring. Like what is the function of that?
So yeah, so when you talk about or you want to connect something, so they call it association table. So this association table is this. And whenever you want to call it in SQL Alchemy, you have to write secondary variable. Just like you were writing backref, you have to write secondary so that it can understand which association we are talking about. So you have to write it. This is the keyword which they are using to tell you that this is the association table.
Sir,
So
in the user table, a similar line would be written. Let's say class is equal to db dot relation class. Secondary is class participant.
yeah, if you are using backref, not required. If you are not using backref and using back populate, then both the table will have the same thing. And if you're, let's say, if you are connecting from user to classes, that is also okay. So only one, whenever you're using backref, only one place you have to write the same thing what you have just mentioned. Otherwise, if you are using back populate, you have to write in both the classes. So this is the only difference. But this will only change. So let's say if you are writing in user, it will change to class, a class from here, and backref can be written as whatever you want to. So
So, are there specific cases where we use back populate and back ref?
I didn't find it actually. It is the user preference how they want to use it. I didn't get to know that somebody is facing difficulty. So let's say if the user likes how both the tables should have some data, they are writing back populate. If they think that back reference can help their analogy, then they are writing that. So it's up to the user how they want to write it. But both are doing, I believe both are doing the same task. Yeah, I might not be sure right now that is there any key difference that why they are using it. But yeah, I don't think there is any as I just as of now which I can think of. So it is doing the same task.
Sir, in the class table, the participants variable is only used for relation form a relationship, right? Like it's not containing any data, right?
Uh, can you just come again? I missed.
In the class table, sorry, in the class table,
Hmm.
under user slash id there is a variable called participants, right, which is defining the
Hmm.
relation.
Hmm.
Is it only used for defining the relation, or does it contain any data like
It
title or?
doesn't contain. So whenever there is written as db.relationship, it won't be visible in your table. So I'll just give you example. I'll just open it. Give me a second. I'll give you example. One second. I'll just open my VS Code and share my screen again. This is mad one, right? Yeah. Five. Hmm. Have I created any table? Okay, I have to create one. I'll share my screen and I'll create. So the relationship, what is written there, it doesn't show you some data there, but it can be defined as arrow which is going through. So something like that. So you can understand from that. So if I check in the code, yeah, we can maybe try this. We'll try to run this. Let's see if we get any error or not. CD. Yeah, okay. I'll just ask one question. What do we mean by CD? Anyone can tell?
Change directory.
Yeah, good. Uh, why I have asked uh, just all of you, because I just remember that one of the student just recently, I guess I have met him. Uh, he told me that he failed the Viva because he didn't knew what the CD was, and if he didn't knew what CD and how to use it, and he was not able to run the app. He was trying to running the app, it was throwing some error, this and that. He was not able to change the directory in the terminal. So this is one of the scenario which can happen. I don't want it to happen, but yeah, at least you should know how to run the app. Okay, it can happen if you are nervous and all. So yeah, try to maybe write it down somewhere that this is how it should work. You can use that particular template whenever you are going for a Viva. Okay, let's cd into app dev one, and then we have week 5, and inside app. Okay, let's try to run the app.py file. Tell me the command to run app.py file in terminal.
Python app Python.
Yeah, good. So if you are using Python 3, you have to write Python 3. Otherwise, it should work with Python also. So let's see. Are we creating the table? So first dot SQLite I have written. I will say SQLite. So let's see side by side what it is doing. Mm, no, app.py. So here you can see multiple tables are created here. Now let's see the tables first of all. So one table is class participant. If you see the name, class participants is there and user table is there. So in the previous class, if you remember, I said this class, even though you have to write in, let's say, in capital U because it is in Python class, it's still be considered as small letters because in SQL you consider all the things, all the classes or table in small cases. So that's why it is written here as small u, even though you have written capital U or C per se, right? Okay. Now the question was, can we see this line number 49 which says class is equal to db dot relationship? So if we go to user table, it shouldn't be visible to us. So this should be the thing. Uh, this ID, this username, this should be in the column, but this relationship column shouldn't be here. So this is how it should be. It should not show you in the table. Uh, I would say physically maybe, but it is for a uh, imaginary thing which is connecting two tables. Okay, are you getting the point? Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But
Sir,
now,
sir,
yeah, yes.
sir. Here we are talking about many-to-many relationship or one to.
Any so if you are writing DB relationship, it can be many to many, it can be one to many as well. This relationship column won't be visible in this context, but it is
So,
doing the
so
task.
this information is stored somewhere in the framework itself. We
You
do
you
not have
can
direct access.
consider it as a arrow going. So you have you seen the ER diagram?
Yes, sir.
So there you have the tables, but it should be connected with some arrow or there should be some lines over there. So make it that there is some relationship. That arrow or line which you know is this. You can consider it like that.
Okay.
Right now, I cannot create. I don't think this creates a diagram, but there is one extension which does do that as well. I will just see if I know that. I'm using, so yeah, so you have to use SQLite viewer. This is SQLite viewer which I'm using. You would have to install it. Uh, you should install it. SQLite. Yeah, this is the one which I'm using right now. You can install this. And there is one more SQLite readers or something, I guess. Uh, Research viewer itself. It gives you a diagram also. Mm, editor. I'll install it. Let's see if it does that. We have to go here. Um, right, editor. Um, okay, so many things here. Okay, anyways, this is the query which is shown here. This is the table. Why it is showing me? I don't want this. Uh, schema. I guess this is the one. Oh no, this should be one of the things where you can see the diagram as well. Not sure right now. where it is. No, don't commit. I would urge or ask you guys to just see this maybe. Yeah, this thing, right? You can see. Should I zoom in or what? Maximize. Yeah. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this arrow which is going here and there, this can be understood as a relationship column, DB.relationship. Okay. So you can. So one more thing. So here you will see this one also going to class. Why it is? Just see the code and tell me why it is happening like that.
Sir,
See
because
the
we are primarily connecting class only, then only class participants. Secondary is on class participants, so it should firstly have a relationship with class. Then only like that's the primary thing, right?
uh, is it or any other thing is that after see the class table there is something
It
called
has a user ID in it.
yeah. So
User ID in it. It
yeah.
has a user
So
ID
let's say if
class.
I remove this first, let's see this one. This is what we have. I removed that particular uh, column. I'll try to delete this first. First of all, yeah. Do you think this will appear if I press this button? Do you
No,
think yeah?
we are
We
still
have to
running it, right?
close
We
the
need to
application.
close.
So it should not. Yeah, correct. Very good. Okay, now I'll delete it. Uh, Still, are we doing something with this?
Maybe the SQL editor is using it.
Okay, I'll close these two as well. Hopefully, we have closed them. Let's try to delete it. Anyways, yeah, it was using. Okay, I'll run this and let's see if it has something for us. Uh, what I had pressed.
From the class. Yeah.
Yeah, now I maximize. Now you can see. So this is what I was saying. We don't need particularly foreign key, but it is up to you if you want to use it and directly get the data from the other table. It's up to you how you use it. So I'll just also show the other table as well. Sorry, the code and
Here,
this.
here, class is having foreign key towards username, right? The arrow should be from like if we uncomment the previous foreign key
Hmm.
statement, the relation should be from class to user, right?
Uh, so how you are defining it? So what the thing is saying, what I want. So can you just read this and tell me what this is saying, what it wants, this particular column. You have a user ID column. Now after that, what it is saying.
It's saying that an instance of class is linked to a user instance.
Yeah. So it particularly wants something from some other table. The provider is something, some other table. Are you getting it? So provider, it is asking.
Yes, sir. It will add a column in the class table.
Yeah. So obviously column table will have the table, but the column, but the provider is something else. It is asking for it. So somebody will give you. So the arrow should go from that, isn't it? Is it not the idea?
Okay. So class table is getting the information from user table, so that's why you are uh,
Yeah.
the the arrow is
Hmm,
to
hmm,
class.
hmm.
Okay, got
So
it.
here also, so when you see, I am as a user table, I am giving you some data called user ID. You are considering it as a foreign key. So my arrow will go right now like this. I am the provider. I am giving you the detail. Similarly, class is also giving you the detail. Because of backref, it is understanding both the situations, both the foreign key and all. If I have to write back populates, so if it is written in one of the table, it won't understand. So this is the idea. So let's see if I'm making any correction here. So is it right or no? If I just comment this, now I don't have backref. Uh, I will try to uncomment this. I'm using back populates here. Now I'm not uncommenting this one. Let's see if I just comment, so stop it and delete this particular file. Now if I run, what do you think will happen from the theoretical part what we have just?
It won't have a relation because we are using back populates, so it won't. We have to use the other table should also have back populates, right?
Okay, so let's see this if it is happening like that. I would click on this and try to do this. Now it still shows something. So let's see where is that. How to? It still shows something. What happened? Till this point, the theory was saying if you're not using back populates from both the side, it will not understand. What is happening here?
The IDs of class and user are stored in class participants.
Yeah. So now is class giving something to this class participant?
Yes.
Is it? Because if you
The
see,
ID answer.
this, this is going this because this is like this color changes. Previously for this also something was changing or no? Have you noticed it or no?
It's a missed it.
Okay, we'll
It
do
was changing.
that.
It was changing, sir.
Yeah, let's for the sake of seeing it, let's try to see if it was doing something or not. I'll stop this and delete this one. Okay, I'll run it again. Now we have this backref. Let's see if it is making sense or no. Okay, and yeah, okay. So should I close this one? Wait a second, sorry. Yeah. So now this, sorry, is this giving any context here? Not sure. Mm, this was the class. Yeah. Somebody said it was changing. Why it is not? Nice. Yeah. Somebody said it was changing. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Somebody said it was changing, but isn't it the same here also? What happened when it comes to drawing something? What do you think? Theoretically, I was saying we are using back populates in both the sides so that it can understand. and backref whenever we want to connect from one side. Now both are giving me the same schema. What do you think now? Are you confused or not? Are you guys there?
Sir, maybe the user has information about class participants. Maybe that is
Hmm.
the thing. It can
Yeah,
refer to class
but it
participant, but
should,
in previous case it couldn't.
yeah, it should also provide some detail, right? Also, it should give some detail from the class side. It should be connected. Something should be there, right? It is giving some foreign key details as this suggests. So if you do this, so this is what you have. It should get details from both the side. Is there any difference? Is what I'm asking, or it was just theoretical? Do you believe that there is some difference, or no? It is not particularly possible to have any difference. Both are doing the same task.
Sir, as far as that DBMS thing goes, I don't think there is any difference.
Hmm.
But in object world, see, this uh, class is maintaining a pointer to this class participant.
Hmm. So in DBMS word, this is what you have. So you create a table, you have user ID, and you are referencing using foreign key. This is how it should be written. Fine. Uh, let's see the class one. So it has a primary key. It has nothing, no foreign key written as of now. And this is your user. So this has something which is connecting some. So this is having a for primary key, but it is not showing any kind of foreign key and all because it is connected to this. So this is till this point we are fine, but this relationship is happening using a class table. It is not writing some anything here. Uh, now one more thing. So let's see. I have written back poplets in one. The thing back reference in one. Let's do some changes. Does it make any difference if I do it in the class? This is one of the things also. We'll come to the pointer why it is different, and let's try it. So right now I'm changing only one line. That is, I'm commenting from user table this relationship using backref. I'm uncommenting from class table. Everything is similar. It's just back referencing to itself, and I'm calling user table. This is what I'm doing. If I just do uncomment, now remember this, that this relationship is happening like that only. So
So don't we have to delete that SQL 3 again?
yeah, I just wanted to show you. So see, so here remember this kind of arrows. Okay, so how it is happening, and we'll see what is happening. First of all, I'll just delete it. Remember the image of it. Yeah, we have to close it, I guess. So let's see this file now. And so there is, so when you see a smaller image, but yeah, there is no difference as such. And yeah, so whenever we want to hover over something, so if we go like this color changes only when we are doing here. So there is nothing about the color as well as no kind of relationship is happening. So till this point, so this is how it is happening. Again, I'll do one more thing. I'll try back populate in this. Everything is similar, okay? And let's see this one. I'll uncomment this and remove this from here. And this one. Okay. So it is created. So this is how it is looking. Same thing is happening with back populate as well as in back ref. Nothing about the image or the schema which is created here. Now, what do you think? It is just a gimmick or what? By the codes of it, not by the theory. What you are seeing right now.
So maybe the framework is managing things.
Yeah. Okay. So in the code itself also, it is not different. Everything looks the same, hopefully. Yeah. So user has same kind of thing. It is written there. Class has same kind of thing. Everything is similar. So let's come back to the theory part now. Let's see why, what are the difference. I have one mm, table maybe for this. So because this was debated many a times that why we are using back populates and why we are using back reference. It basically I don't get why we were using it, but yeah, it depends on how you want to use. Both were doing the same task. Mhm. So when I was doing it, then back populates was the thing. So there was no back reference at that time. It was introduced after that. It was uh, for telling you that it can be used in one table and you can do the task. Right now, so yeah, so it mentions like that. So this is what the theory is. When in the previous term, I tried to do in one of the classes. So I was doing only back populates. Yeah, so this is the key difference what we were dealing with right now. I guess it is the same thing what I'm saying. Yeah, so this is the example what we were saying. Now, can you see the difference here? Can you see the difference of our code, what we are writing there and we are writing here? Any difference in the code style?
Sir, back populate is written in the both table.
Yeah, that is good. There is one more thing which is here, uh, and let's see if I remove. See the code, this one, uh, this line. Can you see this? And then try to see this. Are you
So
able to
the
see this?
difference between secondary is not there.
Yeah, yeah. I was playing with the code and I found out that if we use secondary, it works from single table as well. It was working uh, till the point I was trying. I asked student to at least try themselves and then try to understand it if it is working or not. For me, for one or two cases, it was working. That's why I just tried using secondary. This is basically can be written in two ways. Either we can use secondary itself here and the table, this one, this should be like this. Otherwise, we can create a primary table itself. So like this. Primary table you can create, you can write this class participant itself, you can write foreign key and its own id, and then you can write like this. It is one of the way explicitly you create your model itself, but this doesn't remain the many to many, I would say, because you now have your own id. I don't think it should be the case, but I had, so when you see my code I was doing in first term or second term, I guess. So then I have written like this. So I was creating a new primary model or table. I was using a ID for it separately. It can be written like this. To avoid these things, I can directly use secondary, secondary itself, and association table should be there. So it works mostly in back populates as well. So this is what is the difference. If you want to use it like that, it is fine. Uh, but yeah, it works. Now it works. It was not working previously, but now in today's context when we talk, it is working. I would ask you guys also to check if it is working for you. I didn't find the document which says it like that, but yeah, I have not tried, not checked maybe the correct one, but till the point I have read it, it was not there that you have to use back populates in both the tables. Yeah, so this is what we have currently. Uh, so one question was asked in the starting, that what do you think when we should use back populate and backref? That's why I said I don't think there is any difference which you want to do, we can tell, because both are working fine even if we are using one. So yeah, theoretically it still says back populates should be handled in two tables, but yeah, it was working. So I don't think that is still correct. I don't know if they have changed. I will read about it and tell you. But yeah, this is the thing. Try to go through these code. Try to write it down. You have the code available with you, and tell me in the discourse or wherever you're mailing me or wherever. So tell me if it is back populate is working for you or not. So these pointers were the things which was previously told. So when to use what? Use backref when you want a quick bidirectional access without writing redundant code. Use backpopulate when you need more control, when adding additional parameters like lazy loading, cascade behavior. Uh, it's up to you how you want to use it. Both are working fine. So in backref also you can write lazy loading, and I just shown you that also. So it's up to you. Okay, you have now this picture with you. What you want to do should be decided by you. Uh, hope
The
I am.
second,
Yeah,
when you're using secondary, you're not using back populates, right? Only backref you're using, right?
yeah. So here it was like that. So you should not use secondary. It was told, but when I tried it, I was able to do it. This one. So in with the back populate, I was able to use secondary table. So, sorry, secondary variable. Here, when I started off, it was like this, that I cannot use secondary. So this is what it was. So these are the two examples of how you are using back populates, and yeah. So this is what you have. It might be confusing if you are reading for the first time. The one thing in context of programming, it changes every month or year. So the rules are set by whoever has created it. So it can happen. It have changed. What have you have studied in maybe 4 years back? It might have changed right now. So this is how it is working like that. If I get the paper where or the document where it says that uh, there is no difference, I can tell you in the discourse. I just post that or change my document from there, because my full document is saying this is the difference what we have. But it isn't anymore, I believe.
Sir, a small query. Previously, when you were showing the images of the relationship,
Yeah.
where the color was changing, I couldn't understand that. Is
Nothing
it
was doing anything. It was same. It was the thing was when when you open the table, when you open the table here and you press this button, let's say this class, I'll just close this. Isn't it showing? There was one image.
Right hand, right hand, right hand. Yes.
Yeah. So when I changed this one, the color was changing for this. So I am now connected with class like that. So blue one represents that kind of thing. Yeah. So user, now it is connected to class. So this is what it was changing.
okay? Okay, sir. There was
Everything
nothing
was, yeah,
gimmicky, right?
yeah. It was same for both the cases. Backref and also the code was the schema, but what they have written here also for the both the cases it was same back populates as well as backref. This is what we have. Previous when I was doing it, it was not the case. I didn't knew that we can use secondary, and there I didn't knew that backref also exists. So yeah, these are the things which are new. This is the difference what I knew when I created the doc, but it changed. So you can see this. So it is basically telling you, in theory, it is like that, but when you go to code and try to write it, it is little difficult to tell because it is working. Yeah, so this is what we wanted to cover. I would also urge you or ask you, because I've created this document to cover everything. I would ask you to go through this document, try to figure out what are the good things which you want to take from this. So session starts from here, but these are the
Sir,
things. Yeah,
could you share this document again as one from laptop? So
yeah, I'll just share the link. Don't worry. So it starts from here, from the Flask part. So when you click on this, this is the YouTube video which I have covered in the first session whenever I've created this doc. It starts from here. If you go through all the details here, it will be helpful in terms of your project as well as if you are going for quiz 2. So go through this, and yeah, other than that, back populate and backref, you won't be asked too much about that thing. Don't worry about that because it is specific to a particular ORM, SQL Alchemy ORM. So we don't worry too much about it. So don't worry too much about it. But yeah, so you should now know that these changes has happened in Flask and Flask SQL Alchemy. At least you should have an idea. And I have tried to cover these little details. The details which is given like this, why if we are using this, if we are using something else, these can be asked during the Viva. Whenever you are giving your Viva, it should be it can be asked. So try to read this at least. At least once I would just request you to read them. And these kind of tables which is created here, these can be helpful in terms of quiz, where I can ask few concept related to it. Because we have already covered, so in 3 sessions I've already covered these things extensively. I don't want to repeat it, that's why it is not covered in this session, but yeah, you can read it and you can see the videos if you want. Yeah, so these are the things which we have.
Uh,
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 yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
while creating relations between two tables, what I've understood is like we are not specifying they have to be one to or many to many or one to many. Uh,
Hmm.
like they will automatically adjust according to the variables is what I understood. Am I right, sir? Like
Yes,
we are.
in terms whenever you are using this kind of coding pattern, so this is this Flask SQL Alchemy models and all, you don't have to specify or tell that this is one to many or many to one, but in the end logic. So let's say if you in your mind what you want to create should be given a context. So let's say if you want a relationship from user to class, you in your mind the table is created like a user can have multiple class. So what you have to do is you have to write some relationship column, sorry, db dot relationship. So in which table you have to write, this is only which you have to remember. So this is the important thing. So let's say if I am talking about a relationship between user to class, so in which table will you write the, this is one to many only in your mind it is. So where in which table you will write the db dot relationship part,
So on the
user
many side.
uh, on the many side, is it?
So we are creating a back ref, na?
Yeah, background. It should start with one side, this one. So one to many. So whenever you are writing one to many, if you are believing user is your one and many is your class, then you have to start off here. You have to write DB relationship here. This is the only thing which you should remember. But let's say if you not if you're not doing it, it still be correct if you are writing here. So backref can be written here also. It still be correct. It won't
If I'm using
tell you
back
that you're
pockets, then we need to be writing on the both sides, right? Then how would we distinguish?
currently it is working. So back populates, typically it was said that you have to write in both sides, but yeah, if you're talking about one to many, is that the case?
Yes, sir. Like back
So
poplets.
let's see this. Yeah, good question. So you're saying I want to use back populates. This is what we have. I have to remove this for an instance maybe so that it don't give us error. Currently we are in this state. Now your question is, should I write in this user table or in the class table? I believe this is the question. Now, by the logic what you have seen currently, what do you think will happen by the time I'll just stop it and restart? What do you think will happen? Till this point, we have seen the code. What will happen to these table, or you will be getting error, or will it be connected, or what will happen? No one wanna say anything. Okay. Hope you are not too confused. Let's see the table for now. And yeah. So can you see that pointer which was saying something?
Sir, we have not written back poplets in the class.
Yes. So because we are not writing any extra variable, it won't understand. This is the analogy which we have. So if we are using backref, then it should do. Are you getting it? So I
Sir,
have to
repeat the last
specifically write
point, sir.
here also. Yeah.
I
Sorry.
could you repeat the last point?
Yeah.
Uh,
So if we are using backref, so let's do it. Now, what do you think will be the case? I'll just stop it.
there would be a relation, sir.
Okay, I have not deleted it. Sorry. Where is the relation? Is there any schema or diagram?
No, sir.
Right. Good. So let's try it out.
Sir, basically in both the cases, we are getting the same thing.
Yeah, nice. Good. Good that you guys are now talking. Nice. Let's see. How will you get the data? First of all, let's try to see that. Uh, we have to add some data. Let We don't have the data, hopefully. Yeah, okay. We have to add some data. So I will go to this particular. See what it is saying. Read the error which it is giving.
No foreign key error. Could not determine joint condition between parent and child.
Yeah. So now see the table. What is missing?
So that foreign key thing, sir. So there has to be a reference to the other class.
Yeah. So for adding particular detail, we should have some reference because both are interconnected. To have this relationship, we should be having some detail over here. Let's see. So let's try to do that. I'll just uncomment it and delete this table. Hope I have not confused you guys too much for today, but I would try to make sure that you don't get confused in the next session. Now, if I go to this place, my expectation is I'll open this viewer. So I have one user here. Because I was trying to create a relationship, I need to have something over here to make it connect. Even though the data would not be stored here, but there should be some reference which we are making. So back reference is asking for some reference here. That foreign key is particularly the reference which we want to have. But we
Sir,
don't have to write. Yeah.
so because of foreign key only, our code was wrong. Like 54th line wasn't there previously. That's why
Yes.
it was wrong, right,
Correct.
sir?
Yeah. Whenever we are using backref, we have to specify to whom we are going to get the reference from. So, or to whom we are connected to. So for that, because this SQL alchemy works like that, we have to write some either key or some detail which connects to this table. Otherwise, it won't understand or it won't connect to the other table. So this is what the logic is. But now if I use back populate, do I need a foreign key in the other table or not? This is my question now. What do you think? If I use back populate, do we need foreign key?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's say if I use foreign key and I'm using back populates, I'll just delete it and delete it from here. Now if I run this, our expectation is I should get some detail, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. We have done the same thing what we were doing for the backref.
It's saying in the class we do not have a property called student.
Yeah. While we want to create or add something to the table, we don't have any mapper. This is the point here. Okay. Are you getting it what I'm saying? While we
Sir, can
want
you
to,
go to that table view again, sir?
yeah, I'll just, so this is our table. These two are our table. Even though I have a foreign key, fine. It should be connecting, but it is saying give me a mapper at least so that I can talk to class table. Otherwise, I won't be understanding what is class here in this. I won't be understanding. This is
Uh,
while using back populates.
so we are saying that if we uncomment line 55, this should start working.
If you're saying let's try it, if it should start working or not. So I have just stopped this, and if I delete, give me a second. If I delete this file, so one change we have done. I am not now using this line number 55, and I'm again trying to run our app. And let's go to this particular place. Now it is working. So this is the case of one to many relationship. Okay. So this was the case. For one to many, you won't be able to directly connect it, but let's see if it is. Yeah. So now if you see here, you have a diagram or something like that. So this is given to us when a data has been created, then you will be able to see it. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Sir, here class was on the many side, na, and user was on the one side.
You have defined foreign key. So
Yes,
wherever you write a foreign key, that means that is your the
many.
taker. You want to take something. This is your provider, which is giving something like that. You can understand.
So in this class is the many side because it is having the foreign key of user ID.
Yes, yes. So diagram is now here like that. It gives.
Yes.
Now, so one more thing. Let's now till this point I said secondary was working for us. Have we tried to create anything in the previous whenever we were talking about many to many?
Sir, can you please repeat the question once?
Yeah. So I asked, have we tried whenever we were talking about many to many relationship, we were talking about backref and backpopulate. Have we tried to create anything at that point? Here we are trying to create. So this whenever we go to this URL, we're trying to create particularly a user. But have we tried previously?
No, sir.
Why you guys didn't ask to create?
So maybe because there was a mapping table over there.
Yeah.
Because of
So
that.
let's see what happens. Now by this analogy, keep this analogy for now in your mind. Let's uncomment this one.
Sir, one doubt. Sir, when we writing back underscore populate in one line, only in one
Two
table,
people are
then is
speaking. One second. Yeah.
sir, when we writing the back underscore populate in the one line, one table, then is for reason key is not connecting that table with the another table.
Yeah. It shouldn't. It is not possible because by the analogy, this back populate is asking something from the other table. So the connection, the mapping won't happen if you only write in one. So backref is telling you to reference it back to the other table. Here back populates is saying I will populate it here. Now you have to populate it in your table also about my details. So this one, if you write this one, this is saying I will populate some detail about class. Then here also you have to write that I will populate some detail about the user. Otherwise, this foreign key instance won't work in terms of back populates. So this is one to many relationship. So you have to write it in both the cases. Otherwise, even if you write foreign key, it shouldn't work. This is the theoretical aspect, and it is showing when we are creating something. Otherwise, the if we are not doing anything, it will still remain the same in terms of schema and all. So this will be a difficulty when you are creating anything or adding anything. Are you getting it? When you are seeing for the first time or the class is shown, it won't tell you that this is a problem. So difference is there. You can create the table or the model, but can you use it is the question. Uh, hope I answered your question. Should I move ahead?
Yes, sir, you can.
Okay, so this is the last thing what we'll be dealing with. So as I asked, we created anything? No. Now let's try to do that. So I'll be using this. Remember the analogy which you have, both the analogy. The first one that back populates using secondary is not doing anything in terms of the logic which we have seen in the schema. And here, when we are doing or creating something, it is asking for us to have both the table having same kind of back populates. And also you have the analogy that whenever you don't want to do CRUD. I'm just mentioning CRUD operations now because it will be helpful in next class. Whenever we are doing CRUD operation, then it tells us that you are wrong. You have to make both the table having back populates. Now you have three kind of analogy with you. I will ask you now. So here I have back populates, and before that, so this is what we have right now. Do you think this will be able to create something in the table? Yes, no, just say yes or no, and then we'll move.
No, sir.
Okay. So I'll delete this table and run the app, and we'll try to do something. So do something will cover. I will try to call this so that it can add some user in it. So let's go here. So similar similar thing you have seen.
Yes, sir. The foreign key.
Yeah. So this is what our code is saying, and this is the error which we are getting for back populates. Now this is the important point of this session. Now tell me, have you understood where it will tell you that you are wrong, or where it will tell you what is the difference between backref and back populates? Are you getting it what we have done in this whole class about many to many relationship? Anyone? Yes, no?
I have to rewatch this entire session.
Good. Okay, I'll just recap what we did. In the starting, I said that back populates and back reference are two entities which can be used whenever you want, but back reference should be written in one table and back populate should be written in both the tables. Now, after that, I said, let's try it out in the coding paradigm. We tried to code it and we found out that even if we write back populates, we are able to code it, or we are able to run it and create that model. It was working for us. Then we decided upon to create some row or column in column is already there, but yeah, row in the particular table. We tried it out, and then we saw that yeah, here is the back populate working. uh, is telling us to have in both the table. Otherwise, we won't create anything. So even though that context, the full context was written that back populates and backref have difference, back populate should be written in both the tables. Even though this was the case, but when we want to create a table, it was creating the table. But when we want to work with that table, it was not doing it. So this is the important line which you should remember. The full line, so the sentence which says back populate should be in both the tables to make it work. When the work part comes, that is basically about the CRUD operations. Are you getting it? The CRUD operation, create, update, read, delete. Then only you can see the analogy. Otherwise, it will create you the table or model for the seeing purpose or whatever you can say.
So when we want to deal with data, then that backref will come into.
Yeah. Yes. Then it will ask you to have a correct code. Otherwise, it will work. So the full statement is saying working, right? It was saying that it will work for you when it will only work for you whenever you will be using in both the tables. So that working is basically for data dealing CRUD operation where you are working with the data. Otherwise, it will create the table. It won't tell you that you are wrong. So this is what should be in your mind. So let's see. I'll ask you one thing. So if I uncomment this line, it says back populates classes, and here it says back populates participant. Now, do you think this will work, or do I need to add one more line, or no? So this line should be there, foreign key, or no?
Oh, sir, it should be there, sir, because I think we have seen it before.
Okay, let's see without that, and then we'll see one more time. So I'll be taking 1 or 2 minutes of yours. I'll try to delete this and run it and refresh this, for instance. And yeah, so you can see it is working, but yeah, so let's see in the table if it has given the data. Viewer. So I added a user's data.
Okay, sir, so we had not uncommented that other foreign key part, so it has
Yeah, yeah, because now you are saying this is your foreign key and all. So this
Oh,
this
okay.
is uh,
So
from,
this is the many to many case, nothing.
yes, this is my domain case. Yes,
Okay, okay, got it.
yeah. So your foreign key is secret, even though you are using it. So this is the thing. Now for backref, you can try yourself. You can just uncomment these lines. The code is with you. You can just go ahead and see that. And back reference is that case. So now, whenever, so let's say if it is asked in your Viva during maybe, so you are doing your project. If they ask you how it is working, you have to tell them correctly that this is the place. So back populate will create me a table, but when we will do CRUD operation, it will not. So in my document also, I have to write it specifically that, because this is not the correct thing, right? You might have understood. Maybe if you have not understood, sorry about it. But yeah, this is the case. It says directly that, yeah. So if you see the table, hopefully I get that. There was one table which is saying telling you about the difference. Here there should be one line when we are doing CRUD. I'm not written any CRUD here. I'm not writing it explicitly, right? So this is one of the cases. Now if you have not understood, I would suggest try to do it by yourself. Then I would suggest one more thing. There is something called, if you go to GitHub, if you are familiar with GitHub, there is something called issue. If you have any pointers to tell me that there is some issue with the that text what I have written, or the MD file which we have, that SQL1, you can just create a issue, or I'll just create one issue, and there you can tell me. Okay, so you can tell me by reading out those things, and if you have not understood anything, you can just post on Discourse, tag me, and I will tell you maybe more about it. Yeah, so this is the today session.
Sir, can you please paste your Discourse ID, sir?
My Discourse ID. Okay, I guess it is popular, but yeah. Yeah, so maybe this will work. You can. This is my DP. If you
Oh, okay, sir. Got it.
okay. So this is about today's session. I'll just stop presenting. Any questions you have? I believe you might be confused a little bit or more, but yeah, this is how it is. I wanted to cover it like that so that at least you should understand there is some error in the